Good evening. Shabbat Shalom. Well, welcome to Micah. On this, the holiest of nights, Kol Nidre. Whether here in person or watching us virtually, we want to thank you all for joining us. We continue to be an inclusive and innovative synagogue that explores and celebrates Jewish life, committed to building community and repairing the world. And the world is broken. An election looms, death and despair emanate from our homeland. In the very beginning, it was God who brought order to chaos and light to darkness. It appears that task has fallen upon us amidst a resurgence of anti-Semitism. How do we balance the hatred we face and the fear that can consume us with the Jewish mandate of l'chaim, to live life to the fullest? Here at Micah, we turn to our tradition, to our faith and its teachings that have guided humanity through millennia of darkness and despair. Judaism's imperative to manifest light offers a poignant framework for navigating today's challenges. Harnessing the power of human agency to create reality, Judaism claims that each person, not Jew, each person possesses a divine spark that can illuminate even the darkest corners of existence. Fear contracts. It closes us down, it draws us in, and it forces us to run and to hide, to hoard and to harm. Faith expands us. It reveals us. It opens us up. It sends us out to share and to heal. This dichotomy between faith and fear is central to understanding how we can combat anti-Semitism and all of hate. The struggle is not merely defensive. It is an active mission to unleash the divine spark in ourselves, in our allies, and God willing, even in our foes. It calls for acts of justice and kindness and moral courage. Judaism's prophets, from Isaiah to Micah, they all face challenges, often standing alone as the moral voices of their times. Their messages, preserved across centuries, remind us that we too can navigate through these perilous times. That individually, we are supposed to strive for spiritual growth and ethical living, and that collectively, we are to engage in social, societal transformation, if not for ourselves, then for our children and theirs. Ki ner mitzvah, for the commandment is a lamp, the Torah or, and the Torah, its teachings, are a light. In a world increasingly overshadowed by fear and darkness, be a conduit of God's light. Share it with others. Help them discover their own light within. Right now, we are going to share the light of Torah with all of you as we invite forward Ark openers Ron and Lynn Hetty, Torah carriers Rabbi Dan Horowitz, Howard and Joy Baum, Rebecca Zeitlin, Ronnie Schuster, Nancy and Charles Barr. We invite the congregation to please rise.
Tzadi, hu yishrin lev simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, hu yishrin lev simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, hu yishrin lev simcha. There is a light. What makes it shine? when I do right, it becomes mine. Sweet from the heart, happiness grows where there's a light, life overflows. There is a seed, what makes it grow? Where will it lead? There I will go. Straight from the heart, truth never fails. Where there's a light, justice prevails. Sing it with us.
We are going to invite past presidents Ron Galbraith and Faith Haber Galbraith up here to the bima for a short responsive reading, followed by the lighting of our Shabbat and holiday candles.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us find the knowledge by which to live.
Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Bless all who enter this sanctuary, in need, all who bring the offerings of their souls.
May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehalikner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh. Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruchuni L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu Seidchem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We are going to invite Ali Dubin forward to lead us in the words of Hati Kaddish. We invite those who do not find it difficult to please rise.
Yikara v'yikara shemei rava. Amen. Be'alma divrachute v'yamlich malchute b'chayachanu yom echad uv'chayedecho be'Yisrael b'gala uv'izman kari v'meru amen Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'olam u'la'ol me'almaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh Viet Hadar, Viet Hale, Viet Halal, Shemvei de Kudisha, Breakthrough, Le'elam in Kol Birchata, Bishirata, Tush Birchata, Benechemata, Damiran Be'oma, V'meru, Amen.
יברכו את אדוני המבורך. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And you shall love Adonai with all your soul and all your might, and teach these words through day and night to all your children, for it's their right, and wear them proudly as a sign upon your hand, and as a crown above your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates throughout all time. And you shall love Adonai with all your soul and all your might. Teach these words day and night to all your children, for it's their right, and wear them proudly as a sign upon your hand, and as a crown above your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates throughout all time.
In the aftermath of the October 7th massacres, a reservoir of pain sits just beneath the surface of every Jew. And this year, the joy of our holy days lives side by side with our sorrow. The standard approach to this next song, taken directly from the text of the Torah, is to understand it as an expression of unambiguous joy. I mean, picture the scene. The Jewish people find themselves stuck between the raging waters of the Sea of Reeds and Pharaoh's army. Miraculously, God splits the water, creating a path for our ancestors to push forward. The Egyptians pursue them, only to perish as the ocean waves come crashing down upon them. At this climactic moment, their tormentors punished, their pain and suffering washed away by the sea, the children of Israel are now able to find the words to sing, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you among the gods that are worshipped? It's a beautiful traditional interpretation. We all yearn for moments where we can sing and finally let go of the pain and feel true joy. Rabbi Baruch Halevi Epstein argues, however, that the Jewish people did not sing after having emerged victorious from the Sea of Reeds. They sang while still marching through the water as Pharaoh's armies pursued him. Aviva Zornberg points out that if this is indeed the case, then the Song of the Sea cannot be understood as a song of pure joy and triumph, rather as one fraught with tension. The Jewish people are singing in full view of their enemies, their futures uncertain, wondering if they will even make it safely to the other side. The song, then, does not deny their pain. Instead, it helps them find the strength to sing even while feeling afraid. The Mi Chamocha embodies this complex reality of joy and pain, of fear and faith living side by side. To deny our pain this year would be inhuman. To deny our story would fail to do justice to the joy we are called to feel on these holy days. Music arises from joy. The power of true singing, that often comes from the reservoir of pain and darkness just below the surface. Here at Micah, we harmonize the two.
מלכותך ראו בניך, זעירינו ואמרו. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני ברוך שמו גל ישראל.
In the book of Deuteronomy, we read the words, Ki tetzei lamilchama al oivecha. When you take the field to go to war against your enemies, be it Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, Iran, or the evil inclination within, V'ra'ita sus v'rechev am rav mimcha, and you see horses and chariots, forces larger than yours, lo tira mehem. Have no fear of them. Ki Adonai Elohecha imach, because the eternal God is with you. I want to believe deeply that the divine presence is somehow able to access the tunnels of Gaza. We pray now for the release of hostages, and included in our supplication is that you, God, fill them and their families with courage and perseverance and strength and hope.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Matir hasurim, matir hasurim, matir hasurim.
all of our prayers are imbued with interwoven strands of theology and history. They also are a form of poetry, a creative blend of language and meter, speaking to our innermost longings and doubts, the most intimate worries of our souls. With this next prayer, we give voice to our deepest fears. We ask God to watch over us and guard us as we sleep when we're vulnerable, to spread a canopy of peace over us like a warm blanket, enabling us to rest peacefully and wake up again in the morning restored to life. It doesn't get much more primal than that. Some prayers focus on lofty themes that can feel removed from our daily lives. But on this, the holiest of nights, as we begin a day of fasting, a day we are to envision our own death, we ask God to watch over us, that we be granted a tomorrow.
ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך והושיענו למען שמך.
Again, again, again.
Hashem me'aleinu oyev dever v'cherem v'rav v'yagov. Satan milfaneinu umeyachareinu milfaneinu umeyachareinu.
Matilenu, ata, ata. Ihel somrenu, matilenu, ata, ata. Anun berachum, Tzeitenu voinu
לחיים ולשלום מעתה מעתה ועד
Like so many of the generations of those who came before us, we live in frightening times. Fear has many minions. That uneasy feeling or the dry cotton mouth, the anxiety, the worry, the racing heart, the nervousness, sweaty hands, distress, confusion, panic, terror, the wakeful hours late at night. In the precariousness of living in this seemingly chaotic world, knowing that there are very real threats out there. The human nervous system can tremble in constant overload. Too much fear can paralyze us, isolate us, cause us to stop engaging fully with life. When should we allow our fears to guide us, prevent us from placing ourselves in dangerous situations? And when, by giving in to fear, do we stop living fully? At Micah, we assert that faith is more powerful than fear. It's a confidence born out of the belief in the power of love and goodness and our capacity to hope. So that what we try to do is to engage our senses fully. We use our seichel, our common sense, our brains, to be aware of our surroundings, to anticipate danger and prepare for it. And at the same time, we infuse our hearts with courage, especially in this time of upheaval and war. Having faith helps us hold fast to a vision of the possible. Fear is inevitable. Faith-filled resolve fortifies our bodies and it strengthens our spirits. And Judaism is the unstoppable force that compels us into life anyway. Kol Nidre, its music, its messages, testify to Jewish continuity. And so, like those who came before us, it invites each one of us to use our faith to battle our fears.
בשיבה של מעלה ובשיבה של מטה על דעת המקום ועל דעת הקהל אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים. Kol Nidre Services v'charamei v'konamei v'chinuchei v'kinusei u'shavot din darna u'deishtebana u'de'acharim ena Sharan Shavikin Shavitin Betelim Umavurtalin La Shirim Vela Kayamin Nidrana La Nidre Ve'isarana Laisare Ushavuatana La Shavuot.
We are going to invite those who do not find it difficult to once again please rise for the recitation of Avinu Malkeinu, followed by Tefillah, our central prayer. We remind you to sing along with us for the High Holy inserts.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol aleinu, Ve'yalol aleinu, V'tapeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kal Nidre, Be'erev Rama, Le'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Kal Echotzan, U'mastin, Le'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Godveinu, Besefer Chaim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu, Chadesh Aleinu, Shana Tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu, Shana Tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu. Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei HaKol, Ve'zocher Chasei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava. Zochreinu lechaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chodveinu b'sefer hachayim, lemancha Elohim chayim. Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayeh hakol atah Rav lehoshia, morid ha'atal. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim berofei cholim, Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michal mochal ba'gerurot, umidom melach, melech menit, umechayem, umasmiach Yeshua, michal mochal al harachamim, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Always leave time for what we call Avodah Shebalev, the prayers of our own heart. You can follow along in the prayer book. We take a little bit of silence, and when you are done, you may be seated.
וקבל ברחמים וברצון את תפילתנו. השיבנו אדוני אליך, השיבנו אליך ונשובה, חדש ימינו ימינו תשליכנו אל תשליכנו לעת זקנה כי יכלות כוחנו אל תעזבנו שמע קולנו אדוני אלוהינו חוס ורחם עלינו וקבל ברחמים וברצון את תפילתנו.
It is most often in the context of our central prayer and with beautiful music that we hope God is especially attentive. We think about people in this community, people you may know of in other communities who don't have that sense of shalom, that sense of wholeness and peace because they are ill, whether that is a physical illness or a mental one. We think specifically of Judy Schwartz and Bryna Sarah Bat Devora, of Odelia Sasha Bat Bryna Sarah, of Bet Shanley, of Karen Reed, Linda Duke, and Stephen Wallach, of Jared Camrus, Alan Mandel, Victoria Cohen-Crumpton, Mark Hiller, Eddie Sandberg, John Mitchell, Bill Schreibman, Jeff Margolis. Those are just the names I have in front of me. We always invite you to add the names of people you're thinking of as well.
Dan Saxby, Giselle Rose.
George Nadler, David Levison.
Scott Edelman, Ron Hyde. Bert Williams.
We think of all people everywhere in need of such a prayer, and we invite you to sing with us.
מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב מי שברך אמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל may the one who blessed our mothers may the one who blessed our fathers hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the מי שברך אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, מי שברך אמותינו, שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל. Our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Shabbat Shalom and Good Yontif. Well, it was a very warm Jerusalem summer evening in July of 1993. The sun had just set, but the asphalt on the street was still steamy as I, 19 years old, stepped off the bus from downtown Jerusalem in the suburb of French Hill. I was living with an Israeli family for the summer. My dad had died 3 years earlier, and when he did, my mom gave me the ring that he had been wearing as his wedding band for the last 5 years of his life. They had bought matching his and her bands while on a trip to Italy. I loved the ring, and I wore it on my right hand every single day. That particular evening, after getting off the bus, I stopped at the local Merkolet. It's an Israeli convenience mart of sorts, and I bought a popsicle for my walk from the bus to the house. The 10-minute walk took me along a cliffside overlooking the valley towards the southeast, towards the Negev. As the popsicle melted, syrupy juice ran down my fingers. As I transferred the popsicle to my left hand, I shook the juice off my right, and as if in slow motion, my father's ring slid off my finger and flew off my hand over the cliff. It was gone. I panicked. I arrived to the house with crocodile tears streaming down my face, no doubt hysterical. I can still see my Israeli family looking at me so strangely that I was so hysterical over this ring. But they loved me, so my Israeli father borrowed a metal detector and actually tried to go find the ring on the cliffside. I remember that, but he found nothing. It was so sweet that he tried, because I think they thought I was completely nuts. They could not understand why I was so beside myself, and honestly, it was less because of the sentimental value and more because I truly thought my mom would be so angry with me. And the irony of it all was that my dad used to always say, always, "It's just a thing." It was one of his sayings. It's one that I remember most from my 17 years with him. "It's just a thing," he would say. Now, it's not that he didn't like nice things. He did. He liked nice wine and nice cars and nice travel. But he did not give them value beyond their worth. He saved that for people, his family and his friends, and the experiences he shared with both. It's just a thing. This idea, this value, it's part of the legacy left to me by my dad. I've said those words to my own kids often, When my daughter called crying because she lost a necklace that I had loaned to her, I reminded her, Eden, it's just a thing. When Rabbi flips, scratches, scrapes, or dents the car or the garage annually, I remind myself, don't be mad, it's just a thing. In all seriousness, I love this legacy from my dad. When I say these words, it reminds me of him, like he's speaking through me to his grandchildren or the son-in-law that he never met. Interesting piece of linguistic trivia. There is no word for history in Hebrew. The word that comes closest is toldot, meaning generations or descendants. The term appears frequently in the Torah and conveys the idea of continuity and of passing down heritage through the generations. The idea of legacy is central to us as Jews. It matters more than history. What came before takes a back seat to how we impact the present and the future. What we leave when we leave matters. And this is Yom Kippur, the holy day in which we are meant to rehearse our death. So it's prime time for us to think about our own legacies. Now, when our beloved member, Judith Mandel, recently died, I found myself thinking about the idea of legacy because Judith thought about it a lot. She was intentional about the kind of legacy that she wished to leave for her kids and her grandkids. She wrote down her values, her wishes for them, her hopes for the future. Judith grappled with the idea of dying, of mortality, the finiteness of it all. It really, really bothered her. Legacy, the fact that her values and dreams would live on through the generations after her, that idea brought her peace. In the iconic novel, From Here to Eternity, the character Malloy smiles and says, "The little bit you and me might change the world, it wouldn't show up until 100 years after we were dead. We'd never see it." And as Powell responds, "But it'd be there." Here is yet another of those paradoxes we seem called upon to embrace. On the one hand, thinking about our legacies can be important, knowing that we have made some contribution to the world and that our years will leave their mark is a source of comfort. On the other hand, our legacy should not be yet another object or identity to which we become attached. As with all that we will eventually leave behind, it is for future generations to carry our legacy forward in ways that we may not even be able to imagine. The Talmud gives us this story. One day, Honi was going on the road and he saw a certain man planting a carob tree. And Honi says to the man, "How many years does it take for this carob tree to bear fruit?" And the man says, 70 years. And Honi says, "Is it clear to you that you will live another 70 years? And the man replies, "This man found a world containing carob trees, and just as my ancestors planted for me, I'm planning for my children." So Honi sat down and ate bread, and drowsiness overcame him, and he fell asleep. An outcropping of rock arose around him as he slept. He became hidden from sight, and he slept for 70 years. And when he woke up, he saw what looked like that very same man picking some of the fruit from that carob tree that he had planted. And Honi said, "Are you the man that planted this tree?" And the man said, "No, I'm his grandson." Most of us in this room learned to ride a bike at some point in our lives. And many of us have taught someone else to ride a bike. The cardinal rule when you're learning to ride a bike is that if you look back, you're going to fall. You have to keep moving forward. It's the hardest thing about riding a bike, and it is the hardest thing for us as well. We are inclined to want to look back, to mine the past, to obsess over the details of what has already taken place. But it's not about the past, it's what's ahead. History is a record of past events and facts and figures. It provides a very nice timeline of what happened, documenting actions and decisions and outcomes. And while history is essential for understanding how we got to where we are, it can often feel distant and detached, like a series of facts we memorize. But legacy, on the other hand, legacy is about the impact that those historical events have on people and communities. It's the enduring influence and values passed down through generations. Legacy, it's personal because it's the stories of people who made choices that changed lives. History may tell us what happened, but legacy shows us how it felt and what it meant to those involved. Legacy inspires action and encourages others to build on what has come before. Think about MLK Jr. or Gandhi. They are remembered not just for their historical actions, but for the ideals that they stood for. Because legacy is about what we choose to leave behind, whether that's love or creativity or resilience or community spirit. And these lessons shape future generations in ways that mere historical facts cannot. Legacy contributes to our sense of identity and highlights the continuity of culture and traditions, allowing us to evolve while still honoring where we came from. It allows us to feel the presence of those who came before, so their memories can truly bless us daily. Judith always preferred the phrase, "May their memory be a blessing," rather than, "May they rest in peace." And I understand why. I prefer it as well. It just feels more Jewish. What will your legacy be? What will you leave to your family, to your community, to this world when you are no longer here? Legacies are alive and well and being planted like carob trees all the time here at Congregation Micah. Frances Cutler is with us tonight. Frances is a child survivor of the Holocaust. When she was just a young child, her mother left her at an orphanage in the hopes that she might be saved. Her mother was subsequently murdered. Frances, besides being an incredibly kind and loving human being, has dedicated so much of her life to speaking about anti-Semitism and the Holocaust to groups in synagogues, schools, and churches. Additionally, she and her late husband, George Hahn, conceived of and financially seeded the beautiful sculpture entitled Children of the Shoah that sits in our ginkgo patch outside the front of our building. Legacy. Teach our story to the next generation. Aaron Weedus is here with us tonight. Aaron is a rather new member to Micah and came to us through My Connections. Aaron, where are you in here? Okay, I see you. My Connections is the young adult group started by Cantor Josh. Aaron wanted to make a contribution to the larger Jewish community in Nashville, so she started the Nashville chapter of a Jewish running club called Nice Jewish Runners. This organization was started after October 7th as a way to bring the Jewish community together during a heartbreaking time. The Nashville chapter meets twice a week, has been sponsored by Fleet Feet, and attracts more and more runners, joggers, and walkers every time it meets. Legacy, set aside time to build community. Sally Wolkoff is not with us tonight in person, but she is watching via live stream from her new home in Atlanta. Sally and her husband were both prisoners in Auschwitz and miraculously survived. They made their way to Nashville, where they raised their beautiful daughters, Ruthie and Deborah. Henry, Sally's husband, was an excellent jeweler, and when he died, the family went to take his picture from a frame for the obituary. In the frame was a note that read, "I love you. Don't fight over my stuff." It's true. Henry left a legacy similar to my dad's. It's just stuff. It's not important. Sally went on to donate the beautiful Yortzeit tree that sits in our lobby by the chapel in Henry's memory. By the way, Sally is a youthful 103 years old and still as beautiful and amazing as ever. Hi, Sally, we love you. Legacy. Prioritize what truly matters. Larry and Carol Hyatt are here with us tonight. Members of Congregation Micah since 2005, Larry and Carol have always felt a kinship with the land of Israel. After October 7th, they found a way to align their resources with their values when they made a gift to the Gandel Rehabilitation Center in Israel to build nurses' stations for the facility. Larry and Carol are very humble and do not give in order to be recognized, but at a time of crisis for the state of Israel and rising anti-Semitism here at home, their generosity is an inspiration to us all. Legacy. Share your gifts generously with the community. Faith and Ron Galbraith are here with us tonight. Faith and Ron are both past presidents, which would surely be enough of a legacy of commitment to our community. But if you know Ron and Faith, it's not enough for them. Ron chairs our security committee, which, as you might imagine, requires a little bit of time and energy these days. Faith welcomes every single new member to Micah by securing their annual support commitment. Hardly a volunteer position that has people lining up outside my door. Their legacy to Micah is unquantifiable. Legacy. Step up to lead, contribute, and make a difference. How do you want to be remembered? What hope can you give to the next generation? How do you make your name a good name? How will you contribute to Micah's community legacy? The theme of our service is faith over fear. Why did we choose this name, this theme? Because fear tells us that when we die, we're gone and it's all over, that we will be forgotten and our life will not have lasting impact. Faith changes the narrative. Faith tells us that we will die, but what we do in this lifetime has the possibility to affect the generations that come after us, that we are planting for the future, that our memory has the chance to truly be a blessing to our children and our grandchildren, our community, and the world. When we say as part of our mission at Micah that one of our goals is to heal the whole world, it's not that we expect that to happen today, but we do aspire to be a community whose cumulative actions eventually bring healing to our world. Now, I mentioned Judith Mandel earlier in the sermon. She was the one who preferred the words, "May your memory be a blessing." Judith thought a lot about her legacy, so much so that she penned, and she was an author, she penned a legacy book for her family. One of the axioms that Judith lived by, written both in her book and shared by her daughter Abby at the Shiva, is that Judith would say, "Mop as you go." Now, if you knew Judith, you knew she was quite orderly and neat. I can literally see Judith mopping, cleaning up as she went about things, whether in the kitchen or wherever she may have been. But I suspect she also meant the axiom to be figurative. Don't wait to clean up after yourself. Don't wait until the holidays to apologize to someone you may have hurt. Don't put off the opportunity to offer forgiveness and mend a friendship. Despite what John Mayer may have sung, don't wait on the world to change. Mop as you go. So today, I wear a ring made from stones that came from a bracelet my father once gave my mother. I never wore the bracelet because I worried about losing one of the stones. But it felt silly to let it sit in a drawer, collecting dust. And yet I worried maybe I shouldn't wear it every day, maybe a stone would come loose and fall out. But then I remembered that it's just a thing, and that the people in my life, the relationships that I am blessed to have with family and friends, my beloved Micah community, those are the true gems in my life. On this Kol Nidre, as we think about the vows we take and the promises we make, commit to the legacy that you wish to leave. I think Judith and my dad would get along well. Perhaps they are right now, watching together on the World to Come live stream. Judith, I'm trying to mop as I go. And Dad, thank you for the legacy. I love you. Shabbat shalom.
Kol Nidre Services Vacharamei Vekonamei Vechinuyei Vekinusei Ushvuot Udei Shtevana Udei Acharimna Din Darana Udei Shtevana Vedi Asana Mihom Kippur Zeh Adi Yom Kippurim Kul hon Icharazna veron Yehon Teran Bethelin Vavutalin Nidrana La Nidre Ushevu Hatana La Tevon
Our concluding prayers are going to begin with Aleinu. I am lucky enough to have two of my brilliant and beautiful nieces with us this evening, and they're going to come forward to open the doors of the Ark, Alexa and Ella Abend. We're going to invite the community once again to please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני ושמו אחד.
It's here near the conclusion of our service that we think about those people who still touch our lives through their spirit and their legacies. We observe the yard sites of Esther Abram Freeman, Martin Abramovitz, Dora Brown, Harold Bush, Jack Carson, Kurt Egger Sr., Robert M. Eskind, Israel Fix, Norma Goldberg, Pearl Kahn, Jerome Kimball, Gregory Allen Larach, Alan Lasky, Minda Sue Lazarov, Charlotte Levy, Cecil Elmo Meredith, Joanne Middleton, Maurice Acker, Arthur Robbins, Dr. Louis Rosenfeld, Louis Rothkopf Meyer, Sylvia Samus, Morris Frank Schwartz, Mary Shapiro, Aaron Shapiro, Miriam Claire Silver, Isaac Simon, Judy Smithen, and Dr. Lawrence Solomon. We also mourn the passings this year of Ken Eisenberg, Alton Grove, Judith Mandel, Jonathan Biller, Gertrude B. Noren, Sidney Rappaport, Alan Grohlman, Jeff Harwood, David Plashnik, Alvina Pereira, Homer Middleton, Dr. Daniel Bachman, Michael Walsh, Alan Elliott Goldstein, Joyce Abramovitz Margolis, Judith Richter, Carol Isabel Korn, David Crystal, John Holmes Wolfarth, Edward Horn, Dolores Edward, Susan Duffy, Maris Schwartz, Baxter Overton, Alan Frohl, Joe Fontella, Esther Didi Denbo Lippman, Chip Alberts, Senator Joe Lieberman, Alex Morgan, Iris Weissman, Matthew Curlin, Ellen Oakes, Claire Schwartz, Elizabeth Lazar, Richard Dick Eskin, Mary Spencer, Erwin Schwartz, Patricia Helen Barnett Wind, Lizzie Kappelman, Ava Marks, and Marvin Millman. If there's any names I've neglected to mention or just ones you'd like to say aloud. We think of all people who have been a blessing to humanity, and we join together in the words of Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlik malchutei, b'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zban kari v'inru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam al me'al maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shemei Kudisha, Bariku, Le'ela min kol birkata v'shirata, tushbekata v'nekamata, Damiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba min Shemaya, V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, Huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. We ask always that their lives live on as a blessing. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. Robert Frost was once asked what promises he had in mind when he wrote those lines. And the poet replied, promises to myself and to my ancestors. Our ancestors gifted us this sacred time of year, recognizing that some of our most sacred promises are really made in the silent sanctuary of our own souls, to surrender a destructive habit, effect a reconciliation with a friend or relative, become more attentive to parents, to partners, to children and friends. I offer this prayer for all of it and for all of us. Eloheinu v'Elahei Avotenu v'Imotenu. We ask that you, God, the God of our ancestor before us, forgive our transgressions. Enable us to see our failings and our faults as opportunity for growth and healing. We ask that you please be with our brothers and sisters in the land of Israel and all throughout the world as we struggle to be strong and of good courage. And we ask that you help each of us locate that divine spark you hid inside of all people, that it might illuminate the way for us to choose faith over fear. And finally, we ask God, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, that you grant strength to your people. Adonai yivarech et amo Yisrael v'shalom, that you grant all people with peace. Good Yontif, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for coming.
Before you tune in for the evening, I wanted to thank you so very much for being a part of our services on this, the holiest of nights, Kol Nidre. We hope you will continue to be a part of our online community in the morning, throughout the day, and beyond. I also wanted to express my profound gratitude to all the many people in front of, and especially behind the scenes, that make all of this happen. In addition to the talented musicians, choir members, kids and adults who read and chanted. There are technical folks, supportive staff members, police and other security officers, and a dedicated slew of volunteers, all experts at translating their skills into a spiritual experience for everyone. If you enjoyed the service, consider Torah study or any number of our online programming choices. L'shana tova tikatevu, may you be inscribed in that big book of life. Shabbat shalom, may you be healthy, happy, and whole.